Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show, the show that is not for entertainment purposes. However, today we're going to take a kind of a light show and we're just going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And specifically, one of the things we're trying to do is invite any international viewers that we have to be part of the Supernatural team, at least from a communication standpoint. And we'll be talking about that more here in just a little bit. We do have our team here with us today. The whole team is pretty much together. We've got Super Dave and Super Mike in the chat, although not sure why the chat is not showing up like it's supposed to right now. Let's maybe just nobody's making a comment, but I see Super Dave out there right now as well. And let's see if that showed up. Yeah, it's showing up now. Okay, so all is working well. We've all got our cameras off today because of technical problems. When you have all four of us here, it ends up being a problem. So we've got our videos off. It relieves a lot of the duty on the studio PC that I'm using to run this show, because all of the video duty is on me and my PC can't handle it, which is part of why we're running the October Superthon right now, to try to raise enough funds to be able to upgrade this PC to a proper studio PC to run this correctly. So that way we can always have our videos on, and then we can have more guests on the show. To bring in more guests, that's more CPU duty, and it ain't going to work at this moment in time. I've got pretty much the show maxed out. And as you can see, it's working well. We're doing good, but we do need that upgrade. Let's see who's all here with us today. Like we said, we got Super Dave, Super Mike in the house, in the chat, handling things. Glad to see y'all guys. And we also have Shannon, who is here with us. Something I wanted to ask you, Shannon. Been meaning to ask you. What in the supernatural is going on with you? Right? Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
All right, guys.
All right.
Super Dave says he can't hear Shannon.
Super Dave says he cannot hear Shannon?
Yeah. I hear great, Dave. I'm sorry
wait
if you
a
can't
minute.
hear.
Okay, I think I know what's happened. I think Shannon has come in using an old link, or actually a new link.
Working on it, Super Dave.
Yeah. Can't hear Shannon. Lovely. Yeah.
Well,
All
to
right.
catch you up, what Shannon
Well,
said, if
hang
you
on.
can't hear her.
Let me get Shannon fixed. Well, go ahead and explain, and I'll get her fixed while you're explaining.
Shannon and I have been having joint shows this week. Mine was on Tuesday on my channel, and hers was last night on her channel. It was part 1 and part 2 of Mall World, which we have figured out that thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of us who went through the gifted and talented or talented and gifted programs in school are having this collective dream. We're all ending up in the same space. It's called Mall World. And Shannon and I are diving in deeper trying to figure out. And even some of the viewers from the show were like, "You go there too?" And it's become a phenomenon that we're all figuring out that we possibly think when we were in that program, there was this little pink drink that we had to, and most of us don't remember the actual class. And there was this hemi syncing hypnosis thing they did. And we're wondering if when we were under hypnosis, were they trying to guide us telepathically? Because when we look at this mall world that we all seem to go to in our dreams, it's built like a 10-year-old would build it. I mean, it's got a theme park, a water park, it's got a mall, a food court, bathrooms, a real estate office, a hospital, a doctor's office, crazy airport, crazy elevators.
And y'all guys are going to this place in your dreams?
Where
Yeah.
there's thousands and thousands of us going there. We see other
Okay.
people, but we thought they were just like background actors, and
Even-
we're finding out it's each other.
Even to me, this
Are there-
sounds crazy. Shannon, can you give me
Although
a,
there are
Okay,
NPCs.
she's
Trust
working now.
me. Yeah,
Wow.
trust me. We thought we were crazy too. And we thought they were just like NPCs. And then we started seeing things on the internet. And yeah, it's that MK thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Or Monarch.
we are now trying to figure out how to take control of this dream. And so we're meditating and praying and coming to a place before we go to sleep to try to meet up. I met up with somebody last night. We did not talk, but we met up. We were just standing there beside each other, looking at each other. So if that person remembers what we were standing in line to do, I'll know who met me. We have passwords for Inside Dream World. I mean, that's how deep this thing is that we've realized, okay, in the telepathy tapes, you hear about the nonverbal autistic children going to this place called the Hill, which to me and Shannon and other listeners sounds a lot like what heaven should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we discovered Mall World, we figured out this may be the net where they're containing those of us who have disability. And I know that sounds cocoa nuts.
Cocoa Puffs.
Night before last, Cocoa Puffs. Night before last, a security guard stopped me at the edge of the parking lot and said I wasn't allowed to go in. Shannon couldn't get in that night either.
No. Yeah, that's what's been supernaturally going on with the both of us.
Welcome to Vilma and Daphne.
Right?
What is this? I just heard Shannon or had a Grateful Dead flashback. I don't know how to take that, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I didn't know what when I asked you what in the supernatural was going on. I didn't know we were going there. That's pretty wild. Y'all guys
Well,
gonna
Shannon
have to,
and I, that's why we've been kind of quiet with everybody all week.
There's your Mall World video right down here. Mm-hmm.
parts of it are fun. You feel fun. You feel an enjoyment, but you're always exploring is the theory. It's like, where can I go? So we have decided, since we have been programmed to go here, we put on our armor of Jesus and we're going to take control, and we're not going to be guided anymore. We're going to do the driving.
Which is why I believe I am being blocked. And I have a mission to
Help someone.
to help someone from demonic oppression in this space. So yeah, they're not too happy with me in the demonic realm that controls this space. It's all right.
Well,
I got this.
a lot of many times since I was about 4 years old, I had what people would call lucid dreaming, where
Yeah.
you know,
Sleep paralysis.
yeah. Is it? Are y'all guys experiencing it in that way, or is it just a dream?
Yeah. No, it's lucid.
Yeah, you're right.
Lucid,
You're right
but
on the money.
Do you realize you're asleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes there have been some moments, though.
Well, my
where,
experiences, well, there was quite a bit, but it was like a Peter Pan world. I didn't see no mall I didn't go into something like that. I was like, not every time, but a lot of times I was like out flying around like Peter Pan. And I could see the other people below, and I'd go down sometimes and interact. And whenever I wanted to fly, I mean, I can only describe what it felt like. And I would just like jump and throw my arms down, and shoo, I would go off like Peter Pan. And it was like real. And I mean, this has happened even in the last year. Not in the last month, but in the last year, it's happened a couple times where I have these dreams. And when I do it, what happens for me, not every single time, but a lot of times, I feel like I sink into the bed, or like like a sinking into the bed feeling. And I go, oh, here I am again. And I know I'm asleep. And when it first started happening to me, I would resist it. I would get scared, and I would fight to wake up. And there's a few occasions, sometimes, where I still have done that.
Shannon has figured out how to get out, by the way.
Get out of what?
The dream.
Oh.
Like if you're in a situation that's troublesome or scary,
Normally,
Shannon knows how to end it automatically.
I normally just call on in the name of Jesus Christ.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
that is exactly it.
That's how I normally get exited.
You are more than likely. I mean, mall world is the broad term. And I mean, again, I've only learned about this a few days ago, truly. But it's the same realm. It's like this dream realm, and where we're being trained in all our abilities, but also controlled. Yeah, from a child's mind. Not everybody has gone to mall world. Not everyone has gone to the toilet part. There's a toilet part, Daniel. There's a whole. There's the parking lot. There's the mansion. There's the amusement park. There's so many different aspects. The ocean
sounds
part.
Like Wizard of Oz kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like the elevators. The elevators look like, when you get in them, it's like this big just wall of buttons. And you know, as a kid, when you were in the elevator, you want to like mash all the buttons. So to go like to the 18th floor, you've got to mash 18 buttons. It's like click, 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 click. So to me, everything I see and feel in these dreams is from like a older, maybe 10, 12, 13, 14-year-old kind of concept. It's just like the good parts. Now, there are some scary parts and there's some really gross.
I remember doing those things too. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Navops 1067 you said, I used to have actual awake OBEs, outer body experiences as a teen, and watch myself sleeping. I kid you not. Then around age 20, it stopped. Huh. Yes. Let's say something real quick, guys. We're playing with a supernatural realm, and I don't want anyone to go messing with any of this without realizing what you're doing. And also make sure that you proclaim, if you're going to go intentionally trying to mess with this stuff, you need to proclaim before you do it, okay, that you're doing this to explore and understand the gifts and the authorities that our Father in heaven, the Most High, gave you, and that you rebuke all negative and demonic beings or spirits that may try to attack you when you go into these places, and also ask that Father not allow you to go anywhere that you should not be going, and give him permission to block it. Okay, because we are messing with something here, so we need to be careful. But at the same time, let's continue. There you go. Yep. That's something I learned to do too, is take authority of it and not have no fear, and then I could control where it went. I'll talk about that, but I want to read what Navop said just a second ago, because this is about y'all guys as much as it is us. First off, Starla said, have you ever heard of Hospital World or School World? Okay, so, and then I'm trying to find Navop's comment. It goes. See, the CIA's, it's hard in this current, my mouse is, I got a problem with the wheel on my mouse, so I got to get a new mouse. So it's not rolling correctly, so that's what's messing me up and being able to do. Navop said, I used to have actual awake. Oh, no, we already read that. There you go. Yeah. Somebody's saying no sound. No sound. No sound. Shannon, can you hear me? Hold on. You can hear me when nobody else can. Okay, hang on. Okay, that should be fixed now. That was a mistake on my side. Y'all guys go ahead. Let me fix this, and I'll join back in the conversation.
But what you were saying, Daniel, too, like, by the way, I have also had in a near death experience floated over my body and could see the accident and was literally talking to an angel next to me and all that stuff. So that this is real. It's a real thing. But what Daniel was saying is, interestingly enough, because Roxy is still being able to enter into this realm when she's armored up. And in my case, I have been praying and praying and praying to only do this one particular thing. Like, I have a mission. This is the only reason I have any desire to go back there, and I'm being blocked. Like, God is telling me maybe I'm not ready, or no, or I don't know, but that's the only intention I have had, and I've just been completely blocked. Or the times that I've been in there, it's not. It's like they're playing with me, like, oh yeah, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to do anything that you've intended. And it's very short lived and hardly remembered, which is rare for me. So it is something that you need to ask God. Is it your will that I even explore this?
Mess with this stuff,
this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to ask God, if it's your will, then this is what this is my intentions in your name to do or whatever. But if it's not, it's okay. Just talking about this and awakening a lot of people to understand that this is the realm that they are in at night, and not to be scared. And you can call out to Jesus and you will be awake right away and out of that space.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's ever been able to get me out.
Yeah, and that's one of our goals of our show, is to other people who are experiencing this now, that we're realizing that it's a collective. We don't want them to be in this realm in fear,
Right.
like that they don't have any way out or any control. So this is kind of what our testing is now. We're going with the armor of God on us to try to make sure we can control this and save anybody in there who we think we can. So if this is some type of comic book that's playing out in mine and Shannon's dreams, we on the way, folks. Daphne and Velma has our armor on. We are coming.
Yeah, I told them all yesterday, if you see us scream, she said the Daphne and Velma thing, but if you see me screaming in the name of Jesus, you better join me, and we're all going to start waking up people.
Well, so
It's been a weird week, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time.
Talk about supernatural.
I remember the first time that I was able to take control of the lucid state, and I was just typically it seemed to happen to it has happened to me more when I was in a unfamiliar spot sleeping. Like if I'm in my normal bed sleeping, everything's normal. It doesn't happen as much. But for me, it's happened more when I was in a place that I was unfamiliar sleeping. I don't know why that is, but I just have noticed that's an attribute. I remember I was I was a teenager, and I was at hanging out at some friends' house. And I was laying in a recliner in the living room, going to sleep. And of course, this thing had been happening to me ever since I was 4 years old. Sometimes at 4 years old, it would happen every night, over and over. Every time I'd fall asleep, it would happen, and I would be terrified. But then later, though, when I was at that friend's house, I had come to the point, thinking about it, that that I wasn't going to be scared, because nothing ever actually physically happened. I never got hurt, and ultimately I just woke up and I was fine. So what is there to be afraid of, is my concept at that time. And so when I fell asleep, I remember it felt like I sunk into the chair, and I woke up, but of course I was paralyzed. And I said, okay, I'm not afraid. I'm in control of this. And when I felt that, all of a sudden I popped out above myself, looking back at myself in the chair, sitting there asleep. And I was floating, and I was up above myself. And it freaked me out so bad that I woke up. Boom. It surprised me, because it was the first time. And then I woke up, bam, I was right back in my body, and I woke up. And I said, whoa, okay, that was interesting. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to do this again. So I fell back asleep, and it happened again. And I said, okay, I'm in charge of this. I'm not afraid. Bam, I popped out, and I looked and I see myself again. And then I said, I wonder where I can go. Kind of like y'all guys were talking about. I wonder where I can go. And yes, Rock's Files, exactly. So I just flapped my arms like Peter Pan, literally. I mean, this has something to do with Peter Pan. I mean,
There's Peter Pan programming, by the way, in the Monarch.
yeah,
program.
I mean, I don't remember after you take that swish stuff in your mouth in school, you don't remember nothing after that. All you know is you went in there, you took some hearing tests, and you did this, and you looked at some flashcards, and they gave you this thing to swash around in your mouth to make sure you didn't have any plaque in your mouth or whatever. Next thing you know, somehow you're back in some classroom or home. It's like gone.
Yeah, the day's over with. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no more to it after that. I don't know what I went through, honestly.
I don't either. I probably don't want to know.
Probably don't want to know. Yeah.
This might not surprise you guys, but in these programs, the M programs and the other ones that we've talked about, the Dental Association has a part in it. And, that fluoride mix, which I don't believe is really just that. There's more to it that you get at the dentist too, and the other things. It's all kind of a part of it. So even at the dentist, you're still going through some of these things.
Well, and I thought about that, Shannon, because if they were giving us the pink liquid, which I now know activates the pineal gland to get us into mall world and program us and train us, at the same time they start giving us fluoride, because fluoride takes time to calcify the pineal gland. So you use it to begin with, and then you block it. Then if you want to selectively take that child again and use them, you just cut off the fluoride. You see what I'm saying? They're using it as their on and off switch. And now that all of us have quit using everything with it in it, I think this is another part of people remembering.
I would agree.
I have a
with
question
that.
that I've wondered that I've never spoke out loud, actually. And that is okay, we don't remember what we went through when they did this to us in elementary school. We remember the ear test, the card test, and the swishing thing that they gave you to put in your mouth, but we don't remember what happened. And I mean, I guess my question is there any chance that they did anything that would have fractured us?
I'm sure.
Split our, you know what I mean? Compartmentalize.
I'm sure that's part. That's part of the program.
Kind of like you do to a hard drive on a computer. You can
fragment it.
You can break it into different. It's like there's multiple drives, but literally there's only one.
Jason
In other
Bourne.
words, some people, when they get traumatic abuse as a child, then of course they become they have multiples, and normally one will be a protector, and one will be a the normal person. And if it's sexual abuse as a child and it's intentional, done by people who have a clue what they're doing, a lot of times if it's a female, then they can be a sex kitten. Where they can
I
trigger
mentioned
them
that.
Huh?
earlier on. I mentioned that earlier on Beyond the Veil. So very good way. Keep going. Keep going.
Hmm. Well, if you know things about what I'm saying, go for it, because I don't. I would like to
I
think
wanted
that that didn't happen to me, and that there is no, what do they call it when they do it to a hard drive? It's partitioning.
Yep.
I would like to think that there is no partitioning in my head.
But what if they used the fluoride to create the partition? And now that we've all figured it out and we're detoxing from the fluoride, the partition is dropping.
Well, there's something dropping, because I have.
One, see, part of my theory on this goes back to other people. There are people in the past, now that we're all so curious as to what has happened at major events, like them 2 buildings and people that are supposed to be in Valhalla and we don't think they are. And there were people that were Valhalla'd and we know that there were greater forces at work. Some of those people were saying things. And if you go back and listen to those, some of those people were made out to be monsters. Go back and listen to what the monster was talking about. They painted that person as a monster because they didn't want you to listen to what they had to say. And if there's a switch in there that they could turn on or turn off and make that person do something horrible to make them the monster or use them like Jason Bourne, all the better.
Well, I've mentioned this a few times that even if you don't have memories of being in the Gateway program or specific things or SRA or anything, it doesn't matter, because we've all grown up with television programs. We've all grown up in the school systems. We've all grown up in just this world that has already been constructed as a big program for all of this. We are all part of the program, guys. Every single one of us. Unless you were lucky enough to grow up in like the middle of nowhere in some nomad tribe.
Basically, no Rockefeller education. If you grew up in the mountains and you didn't go to school, you think you're unlucky. Trust me, you're lucky. You're very lucky.
I think
went through that.
I think about this like the movie The Matrix, when Neo unplugs and Neo starts seeing the world for what it really is. It's kind of like what I'm feeling like, guys. It's like all of a sudden we've unplugged and we're seeing the ones and zeros.
Yep. Matter of fact, it reminds me, of course, of my Beyond the Veil interlude, where I go into, right now, you're probably feeling a little bit like Dorothy, landing in Oz in a world that just doesn't seem quite like home.
Yeah.
What question?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you as kids would watch The Wizard of Oz or, a said mouse affiliated movie or like Alice in Wonderland or any of those kinds of things over and over and over again? And drive your parents insane? Because I was one of those kids, and it's like those were, you grow up and find out these are all part of specific programs and these affiliations. But it's like, wow, how many times was I obsessed with watching this particular movie over and over and over again, to the point to where you had it memorized, like every little word, every little aspect. It's like, that's how they get you, as a kid. And it's just repeating that programming over and over and over in your mind. And I know kids do this all the time. My kids did that with certain shows, although I was very limited with what they watched, but still, it's just, it's over and over again. Like they already know as a kid, that's how you adhere that information. And they have those,
So anyone in the comments, were you like that? Did you watch The Wizard of Oz over and over and over? Or what would be
I wasn't a TV kid. You know me, I was playing the dirt kid.
Yeah, I wasn't either. But I
was an only kid.
But
I
it
was
like
an only
once a
child.
year or something like that.
Yeah, I was an only child, so that's all I really had. I was like that. I didn't have people to play with or talk to.
Well, I had Daniel. I had Daniel.
Yeah.
I was an only child and up until I was 10. And, then my brother, he's still a little baby. So my whole childhood, I was basically an only child.
Yeah.
But I had like 7 cousins. And it was me and Daniel and all of my younger cousins. And we just had like our own little neighborhood gang. Like we was the trailer trash kids. I mean, where nobody messing with us. We was the poor kids.
Cindy, if you, Cindy said, "Oh, I just made it here. It would have been nice to get a notification before it started." Cindy, if we're starting a group notification where we're going to do the notifying. If you will go make a $1 donation or any kind of donation to the Superthon, it'll put you on the list of people who are supporting this show. And what we'll do is we're going to put you on a notification thing where you're going to get notified for sure when the show is getting ready to go live. So that's a little bonus to, I mean, I've got a lot of people's contact information, but I don't want to just out of nowhere just start texting 1,000 people, or really more like 10,000 people. What I would prefer to do is know that the people are into the show. And anyone who's going to donate $1 or any amount of money to this show is into what we're talking about. So I thought, why don't I just start with the Superthon participants that make a donation during the 31 days that I'm live, and we'll start with that group to start notifying them individually so they know when we're going live. So there you go. If you want to do that, you don't have to, but if you want to make sure, then get on that list. Sorry, my little interruption there. Matter of fact,
okay.
Speaking of the Superthon, might as well make sure everybody knows what we're talking about. To answer your question, where do you do that? I can show you that right now real quick. Let's take a look at this. Go to the website. It's called the supernatural.show. Okay. And you can click here where it says the Superthon, the October Superthon. You click on that and it will take you to this page. Okay. And then you have many different ways that you can do it, okay? You can use any of these links to donate to anybody that's on the team, and it will go towards the total that's listed here during this 31 days. Or you can sign up to become a member of the Supernatural Show. You go to the homepage, you can see where it says membership, Supernatural membership right here. You click on that, and it'll give you instructions as to how to sign up to be a member of the website. And I'm not going to go into detail right now as to what all the reasons as to why you would want to be a member. But one is that ultimately, after we get this first group going with notifying them via text message, then we're going to follow it up with everybody that is a member of the website, anybody that's a member of the website. So, and there's, of course, we have Beyond the Veil, which takes place pre-show. Before we go live, we're Beyond the Veil. And you can come there and hang out with us there. And lots of other reasons, like the Round Table of Knowledge room that we've created and we'll be using more often here in the coming future. The Round Table of Knowledge room. The Beyond the Veil Theater, as soon as this 31 days is over with, I'm going to start watching like a movie like The Matrix. Watch it with you and interact with you live and will be Beyond the Veil, set up in a way that we don't have to worry about copyright, and we can all watch a movie together, and we'll have a poll each week as to what movie we want to watch next, and we'll pick the most popular one, or one of them at least, and watch that the next week. So there's lots of reasons, a lot more than even that, but that's how you do it, is go to the Superthon thing and pick a method of how you want to donate. It doesn't matter whether you become a member or if you donate there, but if you become a member, it's a monthly type thing, like where, you know, it provides a few dollars for the show to function every month. And I certainly appreciate all donations, but memberships is really ultimately where it's at, even if it's a lot smaller amount than what you would have donated. Say you think, oh, I'll donate $100. Great. Well, I would actually prefer it if you would just go sign up and become a member. It's a lot less than $100. So with that being said, that's it. And I wanted to make sure you guys realize, here's the Roxy Files YouTube channel, and here is the Children of the Most High YouTube channel. So make sure you guys are members of those as well. And we did mention that this is about internationals. What we're trying to do is we want to build a team of international, what I call the international super team. Okay. And we already have a couple people that are communicating with us. And I know I've got one in the Philippines that is on board with communicating with us. And what we want to mainly know is what's truly going on in these different countries compared to what we're hearing on the media. Because we know the media are liars and manipulators. So, but if we can have a whole team of people in every different country, even multiple people in one country. If you come here, if you're not in the United States, come here and sign up. Even if you're just in Canada, or maybe you're just in Mexico, or anywhere else other than the United States, come here and sign up. And it will allow us to start communicating with you. There is just first name, last name, email, phone, any contact information you can give us is going to help us. Like a social media link, maybe like your Facebook, or if you use something else to communicate with, put that here. Because what we're trying to do is make initial contact with you. Put your country as to where you're at, or area, or whatever it is. Describe it here. And then your time zone. And then click the little check box there saying that we can communicate with you and contact you, and then hit submit. And then we will be in touch and on the road to continuing to build our international super team, so that we will have the true information of what's going on all around the world, and we'll bring it to you right here on the show. And we will also have pages on the website where all that information is being posted as we continue to grow the people's website, the supernatural.show. So,
Okay, well, I have an update. Somebody
Yep.
just texted something off of the Wix chat, and I went and looked it up. So everybody get prepared. You know, they've used the word conspiracy theorist status
mhm.
and tinfoil hats. Well, they have a new war that they're fixing to weaponize against us with a word. It's called psychosis.
I wouldn't doubt it,
All right, listen to this.
because they've been
One
talking
of
about it
the
on
view-
soap operas and stuff. I've heard it being mentioned even on Days of Our Lives and stuff like that.
Well, this word just struck me because somebody in the Wix chat said, did you know that the New York Times did an article on this mall world phenomenon? Well, I'm going to read. Listen, it goes on talking about the girl that's got the big whiteboard with the map on it that we've seen in TikTok. I think I shared it to you. Her story got picked up, and New York Times was doing an article. This is their scientific portion of the article. They spoke with Dylan Settlerman, a scientist who works as an associate teaching professor. Guess where? John Hopkins
Hopkins.
University.
That's what came
In
in my
the
mind.
Department of Psychological and Brain Sciences, and studies dreams and says there's no scientific research to back any of these mall world theories. Goes on for a couple of paragraphs. Final paragraph. Here we go. I think that we live in a spiritual world and that there's a lot that we don't understand and we're not supposed to understand it. But it's important, that you don't go into mass psychosis over this.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Are
boy.
you trying to defer us from talking about this subject or what, sir?
Apparently.
New York Times.
Apparently we're right on the money.
Imagine
Imagine that, Shannon.
Shannon and me and you usually are.
Right on the money. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that don't like being on the money because it shakes their world a little bit. And for those of you that do appreciate what we talk about, please hit the thumbs up or help us share it. Y'all guys are the major way that we can promote this, okay, and help grow this, because you're here for a reason. You're still listening to this show for a reason. So help us. You can be part of the team just by sharing the show, promoting it somehow. You can all be part of the team. You don't have to be just a viewer. That's not what you are to us. You're our brothers and sisters, and we're fighting for the truth. We're fighting to understand this world on a supernatural level, and we're doing it all together. We do it live. So please participate.
We got
Go ahead, Roxy.
We got a viewer, Cindy John 6222. Hello, Cindy. And you say that you're in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and we're formerly from Weston, Mississippi. I got some people in Mississippi, girl.
And that was on the website chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on Logic Before Authority, but I got some people in Mississippi. Kai Kelly, he's a drag racer. I'm friends with his mom. We used to travel tracks with him and help run the tracks back in the day. Back in the street outlaw days.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
Right. After the show, Cindy's fine. Perfect. Matter of fact. Says, what do you think about mall dreaming? Mall dreaming? Is that the same thing we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the layout of this mall can be a little different, but everybody kind of describes it the same, of like this childlike concept of everything. And some people have explored some parts. I've never seen some of Shannon's parts
Is
of,
this,
her mall.
is this like
I
some kind of
have been-
global consciousness, supernatural
Yeah.
consciousness coming
Yes.
together?
I think it is. I think it
Yes.
is. And we think that's the net that they're trying to contain us within. If you go back and look at the remote viewer stuff from that 3-letter agency, back when Reagan was in office, there were some hostages that were being held at an embassy, and they were fixing to do something other, and they needed to know the status of the hostages, whether they were alive or dead. Well, they take this person who is a remote viewer and who can control this at will, give him coordinates, did not tell him where he was going to view. He actually took his consciousness, was inside of the embassy, tells them what the hostages were wearing, and that one of the hostages was not in good health and may not make it if something wasn't done soon. He comes back, he writes it all down, he reports it, it's in the document. 3 days later, when the hostages were delivered to the U.S., that one person that they gave description of what they were wearing and a wound that they had was not well. It was exactly what Dude Man said when he remote viewed the embassy. And it was part of the MK program when they started this viewing thing.
Now, guys, understand, I can't help when every time Roxy says the word remote view, I don't really like that word, to be honest. Understand that we are simply we're trying to understand the supernatural world, but you should always go pray and ask Father for guidance and also give him permission to block you. You literally got to give Father permission, okay? Because he gave you free will. So you got to say, Father, please block me from going anywhere that I should not be, okay? Because when you start exploring like this and doing things like this in the supernatural realm and levels, you need to make sure you're armored up, and not going for the wrong reasons. And so, anyways, I'm just trying to put a little bit more disclaimer in there.
And asking if it is God's will.
Yes, exactly. Yep. 'Cause this is heavy duty stuff, you know. It's not for the lighthearted, and a lot of people, I'm sure, would.
Well, see, I would have probably used the word psychosis if I had not already been through this whole telepathy tape thing and understanding what these nonverbal autistic children were doing.
Mm,
I personally would have never believed that this was even possible.
right.
But 6 months ago, when I listened to those, and these children have absolutely nothing to gain from what they've told. And there are thousands upon thousands of them now who have nothing to gain from this. They have hidden it for a long time. And this one person, okay, there are no coincidences. So these telepathy tapes have caught on and took fire, and they've been listened to. And I mean, big people out here on these platforms have talked about them, and season 2 just dropped. But I would have never even thought that this collective dream thing would have been possible until these children who don't speak, they only tap on an iPad, most of them, and most of them don't. They sit in classes for years as these autistic children and had teachers putting flashcards in front of them to teach their colors. Once these children found a way to communicate with like iPads and touch to talk, they're called spellers, you know, because they spell their words. They're nonverbal. When they started telling the fact that we've been sitting here trying to teach them their colors and their ABCs, and these kids know quantum physics and trigonometry because of things they have access to in this other realm. And these kids don't get on the internet. They're not in chat rooms. They don't play video games, but yet they know people from the other side of the continent, the world, and they end up physically
Roxy.
meeting in real life.
Roxy, hold on just a
Yeah.
second. Does anybody understand why in the comments that we're talking about classical music?
I don't know.
Just
Hang
one
on.
person keeps coming back and saying something. Nobody's talking to that person, I don't think. But they
No,
keep
it's probably a
dropping.
bot.
They keep dropping comments, changing the subject about
That's
to
weird.
classic music and stuff. If there's a reason,
I
somebody
fixed
please
it.
tell me.
I fixed it. It's been
Okay.
going on for a few minutes. I was watching
Right.
it, but I fixed it now.
All right.
But
All right.
no,
If you were legitimately trying to communicate,
that wasn't the
then let's
conversation we're
sit-
having.
right, that's not what we're talking about. You can send an email and to logicbeforeauthority@gmail.com, and I'll reconsider what just happened. Please, I'm serious. But it seemed like to me it just keeps going back. It's like you're trying to change the subject matter, and people in the comments will notice this, and they'll
It's probably a bot. So
probably. So, anyways,
Which means we're touching on some very important ground with
some,
this subject
yeah.
matter.
Operation Looking Glass. You know, that's
But you know,
along the
the one
lines.
thing about the telepathy tapes that Roxy and I have both discussed previously, and I wanted to bring up now, is that these children who are going to this hill, this space where all the libraries reside, this is not the same dreamscape that we are all in, that we are all experiencing. This is like more on the heavenly realms. This is a place of pure, you know, the pure souls are able to go and learn, the ones who are not infiltrated
ego.
by this demonic realm. And so, you know, that's really important to note, because that's something that I would more want to strive for than trying to get into this mallscape, this what I call the hellscape, the dreamland. I have many names for it now. I'm coming up
Well,
with more.
and see, I actively, once we figured out earlier in the, you know, what this was, I have actively tried not to go there, and I keep going there. So if for some reason I am programmed to go there, I'm not going there unarmed.
Right.
I'm not.
And that's probably God's will in that regard. And that's what I'm saying is when we want to go and try and figure these things out on that kind of level, just got to ask if it's God's will, and God's going to take control of the situation and use you as the vessel.
Absolutely. Beyond the Veil viewer, visitor number 9703. He said the word mall means public walk, but mall to me also sounds like mall, like you maul something. I'm always analyzing words as to why things mean what, but if you will make sure you're signed in on the website, I'll know who you are. And so
also the owls mean something to certain people. And one of the reason that animal means something to certain people is that is one of the only animals that mauls their prey before they eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, when they catch when an owl catches a rat, they torture it slowly and then tear it all to pieces. It's like horrific. That's just their nature.
I've seen that. It don't bite its artery and kill it. It just like picks its eyeballs out and crap like that.
Yeah, it just shreds it, and it's suffering and yelling, and it's like it gets, I don't know, it's weird. I don't like owls for that reason.
Which is interesting.
I'm not in love with owls myself either.
That it's interesting that is one of those chosen occultic symbols, associated with places like, like things that's on our money and associated with places like Bohemian Grove and yada, yada, yada. And of course, there's this whole thing too. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been into the whole alien abduction stuff. I mean, I used to be really obsessed with it when I was younger. Alien abduction stuff.
Alien abduction.
Alien abductions.
Okay,
a lot of
make
the
sure
people.
You clarify what you're meaning, but go ahead.
Sorry. A lot of people who have said they have experienced the abductions think they see an owl. It's like they can't actually see the figure of the alien / what I would call demon being, but they see it as an owl. And that is a very, very common thing. They even touch on it in a few movies.
Yeah, and just so y'all guys know, because there's lots of people listening, and that is personally for me, myself, I do not believe in aliens. I believe there are many things that we don't know about that exist, but they are here from here in some realm in this world that we live in. Not from some grain of sand 50 gajillion miles away floating in another universe or something other. That's all deception from NASA. That's just my opinion, but I believe it.
I believe they're demons personally, if you want to ask me.
So, let's see. Did we make sure to invite any international viewers out there?
Yeah,
we did. We invited them. Let me do a real quick update on the Superthon, because we did have a couple of additional good things happen. Let me do a little quick update on that, guys. On the Superthon, like I said, we're doing 31 days. I'm going live every day for 31 days. Normally, I'm live 3 days a week, but I've committed to 31, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm 17 days into the month of October. Technically, I've done 18 live days, but anyways, so we're on the 17th. I've got a little less than 2 more weeks to go, or maybe exactly something like that. Anyways, a little bit less than 2 more weeks to go of live every day. Here on either the Supernatural Show or Logic Before Authority, or I might take a couple of those days and jump in on the Children of the Most High with Shannon, or with Roxy on the Roxy Files as well. But yeah, we're 17 days in. We're trying to raise 10 grand to upgrade this studio. Part of which is why you're not seeing video of us right now, is because the studio PC does not have the power, the capability, the CPU capability to be able to deal with this much stuff. Okay. It's mainly due to the camera videos, and video itself is very intense, memory and CPU usage. So that's why just one of the reasons we're trying to raise the funds. And in the last few days, we did have a few more people come in, and approximately on the 15th, we had Yalda, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but Yalda H, Yalda is the first name, and then last name, which I'm not going to state, but H is the first initial there. And they purchased a pay-per-view, the Operation Radiation, which is a must-see for all of you. It's because all the content of what's in there will take you and explain to you the absolute truth behind the 1918 Spanish flu and the invention of radio, meaning wireless radiation transmission. It takes you through all that and shows you. You've got to see it. I've never released it publicly to be just watched anywhere because you can't. It'll get taken down. I'll lose my channel, strikes, this kind of stuff. So thank you, Yalda, for getting the pay-per-view. And of course, you have when you purchase it like that, you get to download it as well, and you can then take that file and send it to anybody you want, and then they can watch it. Okay. Also, we had Billy Wheel. We had Billy W, who became a supporting member of the website. Welcome aboard, Billy. I really appreciate you being there, and you will get added to the list of people who will be getting a text notification, just one simple notification letting you know that we are live when we go live. And we're going to be setting that up in the very near future. So, but it's coming. And that brings us to a total. If I will share my screen here, we can see our new total for, let's see here. Okay. And let's see. Let's just click on it and take us to the October Superthon page real quick. And $10,000 goal, and we are at $2,019. So we're making a little bit of progress, and I greatly appreciate all of you that have chosen to support it. I still believe that we're going to hit the 10,000. I believe that there are some people that are going to step in that can easily move that needle, and because they've been blessed and they're in a position that can move that needle substantially towards that goal. So I personally believe we're going to hit it. It's just, I would imagine anybody that would do something like that wants to see me fulfill my promise, which is to go live 31 days in a row, which if they have any clue or knowledge about this business of doing live shows, is not easy, especially to have something reasonable to talk about that's logical and engaging, like even what we've done today on the show. So thank you very much. And if you want to contribute yourself, just go to the website and click on the October Superthon, and it'll bring you to this page, and you'll have all kind of different options to do. So again, thank y'all guys for that. And so took care of that business. Any other business we need to take care of? Let's see here. Just to make you aware of a new feature on the website, let's remind people about the Round Table of Knowledge. So the Roundtable of Knowledge is a new area that I've set up on the website recently. And it is an area where anybody can gather together. Okay. You do need to be a member of the website and be logged in. Otherwise, you could imagine people would come in here and do all kinds of ridiculous things, right? So we need to have a little bit of security around it. So it is a member benefit. But you can come here, and if you click on this icon right over here, or join room, and type in the password, which is right there, you can have anyone in the world meet you here. Okay. And you can meet here as a group. Members of the website can meet up here. Generally, the time I've been setting for people to come in here and hang out, because we're already all gathered together during the shows, is to meet up here right after the live shows. You can go in here and hang out with each other. As the website grows, this is going to become a very popular place. And we're going to spend time being in there as well in the coming days, weeks, months. So the Roundtable of Knowledge is where to share knowledge and communicate with anybody that's around the world. If you got somebody that lives in another country and you can't call them and you can't Facebook chat with them or whatever you don't want to do, or if you want to talk to them where it's really, really, how would you say, no censorship, you come here and you can do it. Okay. And that's anywhere in the world. And this is all peer-to-peer, meaning there's no server in the middle that's listening to everything you're saying. It's other than the fact anybody on the website can be hanging out listening or watching or joining you. It's like it's as close to person as you can get across the internet, this room and the use of the Roundtable of Knowledge. So there you go. I've covered quite a few bases there. And I guess we could get a little bit of final thoughts from everybody as to anything they want to make sure they get across today.
I gotta go.
That's a final thought. Gotta
Yeah,
go,
well, about 4:30 on Fridays, I got to roll out.
Oh, it's time. Tractor time.
Yeah, it's tractor time.
Tell Willie, I said, "What's up, Willie?"
Oh, well, Willie's probably just getting in from job number 1 to start job number 2. But have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye, Velma.
Bye, Daphne. I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
See,
All right,
I'll talk to you later.
All right, Roxy, thank you so much for your assistance in being on the show today.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'll be back Tuesday evening on my show. Daphne will probably be with me because we'll probably still be in another rabbit hole together. But that's the way Shannon and I think we're slowly becoming attached at the hip with this thing.
Yeah.
I'm okay
It's
with
true.
that.
Me
I'm okay
too.
with being attached at the hip.
However it
Me
works
too.
best.
All right. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Alrighty.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. And real quick, visitor number 9703 on the Beyond the Veil show page said, "I wonder how many in the community mall world or Shady Walk, I don't know why they call it that, but as the word mall is defined, Shady Walk, okay, would confess that Jesus Christ has come into their life or into their flesh." Well, we have on here. I don't know about
Yeah.
everybody else. We certainly have. I haven't been to the mall. I've had a lot of outer body type experiences. I just have. I didn't ask for it, but it happened a bunch of times since I've been 4 years old. But and when I go in those situations, the only way to get out sometimes is to proclaim Jesus Christ. So that's kind of where we're at there. Thank you for your message there, Shannon. Any final thoughts?
Really just if you guys are interested in more on this subject matter, like Roxy and I mentioned, we do have
You've got a whole show
couple
up
of
right now
shows.
about it,
Yeah.
right?
We have 2 shows, one on her channel and one on mine, which is the continuation from that.
Okay.
So if you want to catch up on some of that stuff, we do have a great couple shows to get an idea of it. And we are probably going to continue the conversation probably for a little bit. So
this is the
there's
first
that.
one here.
Yes, that's the first
Okay,
one.
so the first one's on the Roxy Files, and then your follow through with the second part is right here.
That's correct.
Okay.
And other than that, I just wanted to say, hey, thank you guys who are supporting my new channel. I know I'm not as good as getting content out as, Daniel and Roxy, but I'm working on that, getting there.
Better and
But
better
I
as
just,
time goes.
I super appreciate anybody who can subscribe to my channel, because I know I am also airing it on the Supernatural channel, and I know I got a lot of viewers on that, and I'm super thankful. But if you guys could just hit that subscribe button so I can grow it a little bit more, that would be cool. And one more shameless plug, if you can, the best way to support me truly is to like and share my music. If I have 3 songs out there, they're on all the streaming platforms, they're on YouTube, they're on all of it. It's on everything.
You got to get some links to that for us, so that way we can easily
put it on the
hand them out.
website.
Huh?
But I did share one of my favorite songs yesterday but I just really wanted to be able to create more music, and in order to do that, having your support and it will help a lot on that, so my producers can get it out and we can get some more music out, because that's really in the name of Jesus. So yes, that was my shameless plug. Thank you for putting up with me. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Shannon. And thank you, Super Dave. Thank you, Super Mike Smith, for all your help. And especially thank you to everyone who's watching today. We do this for y'all, So I appreciate y'all. And I thank you for being here. And I'll be live again tomorrow. Again. I'll get a break in 2 weeks. It ain't that bad, is it?
No.
All right.
You got this.
Got it. All right. I hope y'all guys have a wonderful evening. And we'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be back on the Logic Before Authority show. And we're going to dive deep down a rabbit hole that probably will run off another 100 subscribers, and looking at the moon and what it is and how it relates to the human eye. And I've got some things to show you that are really mind-blowing. Father has made it clear for me, actually, at this point, what it is. So I'll be sharing that tomorrow on Logic Before Authority. I love you. And we'll see you next time here on the Supernatural Show, Mondays and Fridays. Bye-bye for now.